Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Okay. Let me clear my throat. Okay. Excuse me. In the building. Cal L. Brighton early. It's the Leon figures, bright and early. Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, and for sure, hold on, let's make sure this is in place. Okay, hit that bell icon for news and notifications. I didn't like the way that sounded. Let's go again. Okay, much better. Okay, so what we're talking about today, holodeck in effect. Let's pull that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. First of all, let me get my screen right. Hold on. Un momento, mami, slow your tempo. Let's get this right. Where are we? Okay. So what's that second thing on the agenda? Before we go any further, let's make sure. Hold on. What's the screen look like? Okay, that's good. But let's make sure that everything, the audio is correct. As a matter of fact, something I gotta check. First. Let's see what's going on. Where is he? Okay, hold on. One tiny second. Let me check this thing. Let's have a little looky. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. This is madness, I tell you, madness. But anyway, that's crazy. Wow. Okay, talk about that. We might talk about that in a second, but first things first, let's do the sound check. Let's do it. What? First, let's do the sound check. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, that sounds okay. Hold on. Okay. This I don't know. Let's do it. Hold on. Okay. This I don't know. Okay, yeah, I think it's good. I think we're good. I just sound it just sounds strange to me. It sounds kind of strange, a little bit tinny. I don't know. Am I in the right settings? There's my settings. Hold on a second. Let me do this in real time. Well, it sounds so tinny. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to adjust my mic. Okay. This might be better. Okay. It's good. We are in session. But first things first, let me share this. I gotta share this so people know. Let's copy that. Let's paste that. Play video. Join us. Okay. Let's share that. Okay, that's good enough for now. Let's drop that down and let's get into it. Okay, so where are we going to start? Okay, let's have a look. Let's get the timestamps right. Okay, so topics for today. We're starting off with the Eddie Hearn, talking about Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte fight and his involvement or lack thereof. Okay, we're talking about Taylor Serrano. We're talking about Jacob's rider. Of course, taking a look back at the weekend with Christopher Eubank Jr. versus the Welsh Dragon, Liam Williams. Okay, so let's get into it. But first things first, step forward, Eddie Hearn. Let's see what Eddie Hearn had to say earlier on today. Okay.
I mean, it's a day. Tyson Fury has spent the whole time goading AJ, saying how rubbish Usyk is. He's a middleweight. Can't believe you lost to him. I'd smash him.
Uh-oh. It's true. True or false? Did Tyson Fury say those things? Eddie Hearn, please elaborate.
Wouldn't fight. So it's like you're not asking, but it doesn't. Like, I'm not getting argued. I don't watch all the interviews religiously. I don't know what you ask. I just see it. I see the responses of people.
Uh-oh. Tyson Fury is putting it on IFL Umar.
Saying that no one really grills anyone. I don't do interviews with you anyway. Not because I don't like you. Coogan, yeah. So, but he grills me a lot. I just feel that you.
Uh-oh. Eddie Hearn is not holding back.
Got to work on your question a little bit more because it's very friendly. So I said to
Eddie Hearn not taking any prisoners. Okay, but let's not get sidetracked.
Didn't have much. I said, look, I didn't have a good. I mean, it's a day. Tyson Fury has spent the whole time goading AJ, saying how rubbish Usyk is. He's a middleweight. Can't believe you lost to him.
You did say those things.
Smash him, but he wouldn't fight. So it's like you're not asking, but it.
OMG. Eddie Hearn not taking any prisoners. He's been asked a lot of questions. He's been asked a lot of questions about his involvement with Fury Whyte. And question marks, does Dillian Whyte, does he stay with Matchroom, potentially the Zone, or does he sign with Boxer? Does he sign with Boxer and go over and stay with Sky? Is it a case of split loyalties from Dillian Whyte? As you know, Dillian Whyte's on a, what is it? What's his contract? What's the basis? It's a fight-by-fight basis with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's never really signed him up as such, because he doesn't want to bind him with no contract. So it's a case-by-case, fight-by-fight basis. And Tyson Fury had some things to say about that. Okay, let us move this thing along swiftly.
The way going through the contract. And again, like, you know, Frank says he's not involved in the fight. I'm not involved in the fight. I lost the purse bid. So I'm happy to not be involved in the fight, and I'll be involved in the fight in any capacity Dillian Whyte wants me to be.
Okay.
The way going through the contract. And again, like, you know, Frank says he's not involved in the fight. I'm not involved in the fight. I lost the purse bid. So I'm happy to not be involved in the fight, and I'll be involved in the fight in any capacity Dillian Whyte wants me to be.
Okay. So that was the headline. That was the IFL headline, and it was slightly misleading because it appears as if Eddie Hearn's saying, "Hey, I don't care. I don't care," but that's actually not what he's saying. What he's actually saying is that, listen, I'm happy I lost the purse. I'm happy not to be involved because that means that I lost the purse bid. But Dillian Whyte has secured hell of a deal, hell of a good deal. And so he's happy. What he's really saying is he's happy for Dillian Whyte. And he goes on to expand on that. Okay, and I'll expand on that. But in the meantime, first things first. Okay, let's realize something. Let's realize. I gotta move this along. What else? What's that? Okay, I'll move this along too. Okay, let's get this there. Let's get this going. Let's crank this up. Let's move this along. Let's find the timestamp. Where is it? Okay. There we go. Okay, come in.
Now, I think everyone in boxing knows they would have done a deal with Tyson Fury.
It's not illegal what they've done. I would have done the same thing. What you do is, to get control of the fight, you agree a purse with the lion's share fighter, and therefore you can overbid, and what you're bidding, you're not actually paying.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. It was on the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio where we discussed this first. How many weeks ago? As soon as the news came out, we were talking about over here. And what were we saying? We were saying, no, the market can't bear that figure. The market can't bear a $41 million bid. The market can't bear that. Therefore, I'm afraid to say it's bogus. Inflated figures. The figures were inflated. We told you on the Raphie Dawkins straight away. Nah, that don't make sense. Them figures don't make sense. So it couldn't be. Whyte should make them decisions after the Fury fight. Yeah. Well, I mean, looks like he may have split loyalties. Does he stay with Sky? In which case he moves over to Boxer, the Boxer promotion. Or does he stay with what he knows? Eddie Hearn. But yeah, clearly he's going to get this fight out of the way. And he could be champion. He could be the anointed one. Who'd say? What Hearn is actually saying is these feelings are hurt. No, let the man speak for himself. Let the man speak for himself. Let's listen again, just in case it wasn't clear. Eddie Hearn, come on in.
Fury.
It's not illegal what they've done. I would have done the same thing. What you do is to get control of the fight, you agree a purse with the lion's share fighter, and therefore you can overbid, and what you're bidding, you're not actually paying. So that's what has happened in this case, and it's happened with me before. I've done it before. It's not illegal. It's a smart way to win a purse bid.
It's a smart way to win a purse bid. Inflate the figures. Agree with your guy, the guy who's getting the lion's share. Agree with him that you're going to get so much. But we have to inflate the figure. We have to inflate the thing, the bid. So for us to win the bid, you've got to pretend that you're getting $10 million more than you're actually getting. So we're saying we're paying you 31 million, 32 million, 33 million. Yeah. Probably. We'll see how it goes, but you should be looking at like 15 to 20. 15 being a realistic figure, 20 being the high figure. You have to agree to this in order for us to win the purse bid. People are just coming in now. They don't know what's going on. So let's make it clear. Let's make it abundantly clear.
Fury.
It's not illegal what they've done. I would have done the same thing. What you do is to get control of the fight, you agree a purse with the lion's share fighter, and therefore you can overbid, and what you're bidding, you're not actually paying. So that's what has happened in this case, and it's happened with me before. I've done it before.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's not illegal. It's a smart way to win a purse bid.
It's a smart way to win a purse bid. We told you, folks. We told you. We done broke it down previously. So yeah, those are Eddie Hearn's words regarding the Tyson Fury bid. Did he say anything else? Is there anything else I want to touch on? Any more timestamps? No? Okay, did say some more. But I think we've chopped it up pretty much, that particular interview. Dillian Whyte, does he stay with Matchroom or does he go over with Boxer after the Tyson Fury fight? And where did he say that? Where did he say that? I don't know. I didn't write the timestamp down. How remiss of me. How remiss of me. But Eddie Hearn did confirm that they have received the contract, or Dillian Whyte's side has received the contract. Eddie Hearn says he won't be involved with that. That will be down to Dillian Whyte's lawyer. So Eddie Hearn is not involved in this thing. But he says he's available for any help that Dillian Whyte, any help or support that Dillian Whyte may need, may require, may request. A smart way to win a purse bid is to actually win the purse bid. Well, he just told you, he just broke it down what happened. Bob Arum won because he's in charge of the guy with the lion's share, so he can make a deal with him. Listen, if you want this fight on our terms, we've got to win the purse bid. in order for us to win the purse bid, we're going to have to inflate what we tell the public that you're getting. Yeah? So the person who's dealing with the guy with the lion's share, the guy getting the lion's share, commonly known as the A side. Oh yeah, they got the ace. They got the ace up the sleeve because they can just put in an inflated figure. But I don't think it's so bad that Hearn lost the purse bid. I don't think it's so bad. The chance of him winning the purse bid was minimal in the first place for the reason that I've just outlined. So yeah, the contracts have been sent. Dillian Whyte has received these contracts. His contract. It's in the hands of his solicitor, his lawyer. They're looking it over, dotting the I's and crossing the T's and make sure that everything is as good as it could be under the circumstances. So, yeah. That's the Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury saga as it stands right about now. But oh no momento, mami, slow your tempo too. Okay. Don't got too many windows open tonight, so we can afford to have a little looky. Have a look. Let's have a look at what Tyson Fury's saying. Tyson Fury always has a spin, has his spin. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at what he's saying. Let's share my screen with you. I don't know what we're going to see. Don't know what we're going to see. Let's have a look together. Stop sharing that and start sharing this. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, not much. Not much. Oh, promo signed glove. If you want to get a promo signed glove, hold on. Let me get the... Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Can I move this? No. Damn. Damn. Missed twice. Damn it. Damn it. Let's have a look. Not much. Not much going on there. What's the last one? Okay. What's he doing?
We got a head to head. Say something.
Okay. I thought you'd have some disparaging words. We don't seem to have no disparaging words. What the hell's going on with Tyson Fury? I must have missed him. Must have been yesterday. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. OMG. OMG. Okay. So for those who just come in, Eddie Hearn had some pronouncements to make. Said a bunch of things. You'll catch that on the replay. But the question is, what's Dillian Whyte going to do? Stay with Matchroom or move over to Boxer? The question remains. Okay. So let us move. Oh. Fury's in Dubai. Okay. All right. Let us move this along. Let's drop that. Dillian Whyte still ain't speaking, but we know why. Gonna wait for the arbitrator to arbitrate. I think I can drop that down now. Okay. So what are we doing now? Where are we going? What's on my list? Okay. Let's bring that up. What order am I going to do this in? Contract has been received. The contract has been received. So let's bin that off. Talking about the contract for Dillian Whyte to sign the Fury Whyte. Okay, well, there we go now. That's a bit too direct. That's a bit too direct. We're not gonna take the direct route. That's too direct. Let's work into that one. Oh no. Okay, where is it? Where are we? Oh yeah, there we are. We're not gonna do that just yet. Okay. Let me just mute that damn thing popping up. Popping up. Let me mute it. Okay. So where we going? Where are we going next? Oh, really? Okay. So really, I should be talking the obvious one. Chris Eubank versus Liam Williams. Okay, let's pull that up. Where is it? Damn. Boxing moves fast. Can't even find a Chris Eubank. I suppose I could type it in. That'd be too easy. There's a particular one that I was looking for. Dang. It's not even visible. Okay. Forget all of that. I have to come back to that in a second. Okay, well, I'll just talk about it. Can't find an article on it, but I'll talk about it. Anyway, even though I can't find the article that I was looking for. Let me give it another shot. Chris Eubank, Liam Williams. Controversial scorecard. Oh, wow. Okay, well, this is interesting. This is an interesting angle. Let me share it with you. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so very interesting figures. Chris Eubank Jr. does over 1 million in-home viewers. 1 million. Okay, so there's a lot of talk about boxing and boxing figures, boxing numbers, but 1 million viewers, and this is an indication of what can happen when you're not squeezing people for PPV money. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Where did I watch this? What channel was it on? It was on Sky. Say so. It was on Sky. I watched it on Sky, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this was not a pay-per-view. This was just Sky. There was no extra money you had to pay. You pay Sky Sports. If you have Sky Sports subscription, then you got this in with your subscription. And look at the numbers. 1 million in-home viewers. So that's not including the people who watched it up and down the country in pubs. This is in the home. 1 million. 1 million. An indication of what can happen. See, this is what needs to happen more. Especially, I wish it would happen more overseas for our American brethren who are being squeezed till the pips pop out. Every little show, every mediocre show now seems that somebody's asking for pay-per-view. But this is what happens when you just let the people watch boxing. 1 million views. Very impressive. Got to give him a bell salute for that. Okay. Liam Williams has been silenced since the fight. Yeah, I heard. Is it true that he didn't do any what do you call it? He wasn't at the post-fight press conference? Is that true? That's what I heard. He ain't spoken since. PPV format is dead. Well, it should be dead. It's just hanging on for dear life. You know, especially our PBC brethren. They're trying to rinse the living pips out. Trying to squeeze the pips out to the boxing public. So it's good to see. It's good to see what happens when you just let the people fight. Let the people see people fighting without trying to squeeze them dry, without trying to wring them dry till the pips squeak. Oh dear. Oh dear. Very sad to see. Williams ducked the post-fight press conference. That's not good at all. That's not good sport. That is not good sport. Okay, let's take a little quick look at this before we move on. Okay, so, yeah. Peak Sky Sports in-home audience of 1 million. So Chris Eubank Jr. knocked down Liam Williams 3 times in the opening 4 rounds. Damn, this thing's just popping off. As a matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat. Why don't I just share it over there too? Why don't I do that? Can I? How does that look? Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Let's see if we can do this thing. Damn, that took me by surprise. Hold on, let's have a look. Okay, down. It's the pigeon. You got background noise.
There's a bit of background noise. We're coming from the Square Peg in Birmingham. That's Raphie. I'll answer you.
You're in the Square Peg. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put myself on mute.
Okay. Damn. Pigeon almost blew out my logos. Let me turn this thing down. Okay, that's good. Okay, Pigeon, talk to me. Pigeon.
Listen, we got all these man names talking about boxing at the moment. Hearn and Brook is the best fight in the world. You got Tyson Fury against Dylan Whyte. Listen, stop getting your mans, Billy Joe Saunders, asking your mans, Eubank, Eubank is gonna kill you, bro. Eubank's gonna fucking put you in the grave, bro.
Okay, easy with it. Easy with it. Let's hold on. No, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Sorry about that, but I think this man, Billy Joe Saunders, he's very annoying me. Very annoying.
Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders. He says he wants to get it on with Christopher Eubank Jr. That's funny because I thought because he's been pretty much silent. So I thought that Billy Joe Saunders had pretty much damn near retired. I thought he'd retired.
He got retired by Canelo.
I thought he got retired by Canelo. What's going on? Bruce goes up in the building. How you doing, Bruce? Tone said, did Williams really talk about catching a body in the pre-fight build-up? I don't know. To be honest with you, I wasn't watching the pre-fight talk. You know what I mean? I was just waiting for the talk to pass and for them to get in the ring. Williams kept walking into jabs. It was terrible first few rounds. Well, the thing is,
listen, that man, then he come out. He was fighting like some sort of man possessed. The Williams is a fool. He tried to play with fire and he got burned.
Well, you know, Williams came out full of emotion. And he just kept on walking into hooks. Remember, my pre-fight prediction was that if Christopher Eubank Jr. didn't use his jab, he'd lose. And if he did use his jab, he'd win.
It was a ridiculous prediction because Chris Eubank Jr. was always going to use the jab. I've met these guys. All these guys. That guy was never going to win that fight.
Okay. Well, okay, Pigeon. I appreciate your stance on the thing, but my position was that if Christopher Eubank Jr. didn't use the jab, he'd lose. And if he did use the jab, he'd win. Now, he came out initially, he wasn't using the jab, but he wasn't using the conventional jab, but he was using the hooks. He was using the left hook as a jab. And he was painting Liam Williams' face. But more than that, he was dropping him. He was catching him.
Liam Williams' face looked like the end of World War II.
He was catching him. He was having Williams walk onto shots, and he was just stepping to the side and popping him with hooks. And Liam Williams was just folding. He was just folding him up. And so it wasn't a conventional jab, but he was using the hook as a jab and the hook. He was using it. Yeah, he was mixing it up.
They weren't no good anyway. Liam Williams' amateur record wasn't great. So I had an amateur record of 17-2. I lost 2, I won 17. Eubank's amateur record was impeccable. So if people are saying that Chris Eubank Jr. has got no amateur record, he can't fight well, that they obviously have no idea of boxing because he's probably one of the greats in terms of where he's come from.
I got Jim. We got Jimmy in here. Jimmy, do me a favor, mate. Put your avatar up, yeah? Put your avatar up. Put your picture up. Put a picture in. Put a picture in.
Yo, James, what's going on?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sure.
No problem, Jim. No problem. Okay, always like to have avatars over here. Don't look right, blank screen. Okay. So yeah, so it was just so it was beautiful work by Christopher Eubank Jr. early on. Beautiful work. He and then after the first few rounds, he started to use a more conventional jab. But then after dropping Williams multiple times early, Christopher Eubank Jr. was going for the style points and he wouldn't put his hands up. He kept his hands down low and he allowed Williams to eke his way back a little bit. back a little bit, but the fight was already lost. He'd been dropped too many times in too many rounds. But I don't like the way that Eubank kept his hands down, and you know, as a consequence, let Williams eke some points back.
Yeah. I just think it was a good fight. I think we enjoyed the fight. Jimmy on earlier.
Yeah, I think Roy Jones has done a really good job with him, because I've never seen Eubank Jr. use a kind of like a long range power jab before, especially this consistent. He had slick footwork. I mean, he was turning him, he was catching him with, you know, left hook counters. All that work with Roy Jones, because I was a bit, you know, I wasn't completely sold on Roy Jones as a trainer, even though he was a legendary champion. I'd never seen him train anyone. But, you know, credit to Eubank, you know, he went away for a long time. He spent over a year training. This is their third fight together, and he's finally kind of, you know, come into his own. I thought you did a great job.
Wait. Can I ask Jim?
Hold on.
Wait, can I?
Hold on. Pigeon, hold on. Okay, yeah, as you were saying, Jimmy.
Yeah, bro, I actually think he did a better job of outboxing him than Demetrius Andrade did. And I really rate Demetrius Andrade. I think he might be the best middleweight in the world. You know, I was favoring him to beat Gennady Golovkin and Charlo. So I was really impressed. You know, 4 knockdowns. He won maybe 8 or 9 out of the 12 rounds. And heading into this fight, a lot of people were picking Williams to win. You know, you had Johnny Nelson and Adam Booth that were very confident. A lot of the fans as well. And I think Eubank Jr. is great for British boxing. You know, he did massive numbers on Sky. It was a sold-out arena. And, you know, he's one of my favorite fighters. So I was really happy.
Yeah. It was good. I just wish. What do you think about his defense, though, in the last rounds? What do you think about him keeping his hands down and taking shots unnecessarily?
Yeah, I thought he kind of slipped a little bit near the end. But I think with Eubank, he's so confident in his chin, and he does have his father's chin. That sometimes, especially when he fights someone like a Triple G, I would definitely like to see him kind of be a bit more on point. But I think him and Roy, they're going to go back, they're going to watch film, and I think especially for like a fight like a Triple G, which I hope he does get, because I think at 40 years old, I feel like I think he could beat Triple G at 40. Saunders rematch, I'd favor him to beat Saunders. And someone like a Jamal Charlo, you know, I think that's a really good fight. So I think Eubank Jr. has a bright future, and he could definitely pick up some big wins.
100%. The pigeon, come on in, the pigeon.
The big pigeon. Yeah, I think what he's saying is true. I think it's going to be difficult to argue against that. What Jimmy just said, Jimmy the man there, he's obviously knows his boxing. They need to be fair. I personally think that Jimmy's right. I think if Triple G faces Eubank, I've got Eubank over that. What Jimmy was saying earlier on, the fact of Eubank's career in terms of his development is true also. Listen, the internet's just a bit of fun for me. I'm just out and about and having a bit of fun, but I got to call a spade when it's a spade. And Jimmy's spot on.
100% pigeon. 100%. Okay. Thank you. Okay. What did the fight doctor say? Jones did a good job with Eubank. Really? What fight were you watching? I think we were watching the fight. You know what fight we were watching. You saw Eubank dropping Williams with some beautiful shots. It wasn't even putting everything into it. It was just boom, tapping. He was fighting conservatively, in a sense, in terms of the power. Jimmy.
Yeah, mate. I mean, to be honest, I think Eubank actually spoke about this junior after the fight. He said the reason why he cruised a little bit was because he actually damaged one of his knuckles. So I think that's why he didn't sit down more. But I mean, this is probably the worst beating that, you know, Williams has took.
Yes.
He did a better job against Demetrius Andrade, and Demetrius Andrade is touted as like an elite level boxer.
And that was a dogfight. It was tit for tat. Eubank versus Andrade was tit for tat.
Yep. Yeah, and Junior went in there because I'll be honest, when he first joined Roy Jones, for me it was a little bit awkward because I'd never seen Junior box like that. Because I'm used to Junior fighting in the pocket, slugging it out. But I think he's added a lot of wrinkles. Roy Jones really did help him become more of a complete fighter. He's matured more as well in the ring. He's got a better ring IQ. And I found it entertaining, at the end when he was kind of slipping and sliding, doing the Ali shuffle. I found it funny.
I thought it was funny.
Even though
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a mistake because of where he was. You know what I'm saying? I thought that his best option would be just to batter him, try to in the last round.
Well, I'm always gonna follow Eubank, even though I'm Welsh. I'm Welsh by parentage.
Yeah.
I live in Birmingham and I'm Welsh by heritage, but I'm always gonna follow Eubank and Eubank. Sometimes things need to go above boxing. We need a narrative now, and I've been guilty of this, and everyone's been guilty of bringing a narrative into boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's take it to a level where it goes different. And to be honest, what Liam Williams was saying to Chris Eubank was disgusting, bro.
yeah,
Well,
my killing him.
killing him.
I saw the interview. Yeah, he's saying he hated him. He wanted to. I think the British border are actually going to fine him and suspend his license for 6 months.
It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
He's up before the board. So
I personally think he should get his. I don't want to just be coming off the back of a, reactionary, because obviously I'm being reactionary here. You guys know I'm on about. I think he should have his purse taken from him.
Well, there you
go.
He's up
I
before.
want to respond to the fight doctor. Because I've seen this fight doctor. I've seen him hype up Charlo before on other panels, and I'll be honest, like the way Charlo looked against Korobov, Montiel, Brian Adams, I think Eubank could beat. I think Eubank could beat the shit out of Charlo.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It is like the Montiel Charlo thing.
Hey,
like you're more experienced than we are on that, Jimmy. You know that for a fact, bro. Your knowledge of the USA boxing is better than mine, and probably Raphie. So
I don't know about that. What are you talking about?
I think Jimmy's got a high knowledge on all that.
Yeah, but
he's on there all the time.
Yeah. No, calm down, Pigeon. Calm down. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
So
yeah. So what are you saying? Pigeon?
I just think that all this Charlo thing at the moment and what's going on, Montiel. Listen, it's just making. I got a headache. I don't know what's going on. I'm more, Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Yeah. But me and Jimmy have been on panels with Devin. We actually know them. We're not friends with them, and I'm not friends with Jimmy. Me and Jimmy, like we had many wars on the channels over the years. But listen, me and Jimmy have been on panels with Bill and Devin Haney, and we've spoken to them, and I just think that it's switched the other way for me now. I think Cambosis is ducking Haney. He's ducking him because why would Bill and his son speak to people like me and people like Jimmy? Why are you on the internet with me and people like Jimmy? We're nobody. But we have spoken to Bill Haney. I've spoken to Bill Haney. Jimmy has spoken to Bill Haney. Even people like H Money, who speaks to him all the time, who I don't get along with, spoken to Bill Haney. I just think Cambosis is ducking him. I'm thinking Cambosis is, and do you know what? I'm going to put it out there. Cambosis is ducking Bill Haney. I'm going to mute myself.
OMG. Okay, the pigeon there, the pigeon in full flight, almost flew straight into a BT tower. BT Tower. But I think he's okay.
I'm by the BT Tower at the moment.
Yeah, almost flew straight into it. Okay. So personally, what's Tone say? Personally, I wasn't impressed. All that. What? First of all, Jimmy, what you got to say about the since Pigeon brought it up? What you got to say about the Kambosos looking more likely to fight anyone not named Haney? What's your feeling on that?
No, I think Devin Haney is definitely an avoided lightweight because he's a very talented young man, very slick, sharp, technically sound. He's got a lot of talent. I think with Kambosos, I think what he's doing right now, he's probably trying to fight the highest bidder.
Mhm.
So he's got two people in it. You've got Eddie Hearn and Devin Haney on one side, and you've got Bob Arum and Vasyl Lomachenko on the other. And they'll probably just fight whoever puts up the most money because a guy like Kambosos has probably never made any real money in his career. So I think if he's going to take a dangerous fight, he'll probably take the one for the most money. Which at this stage, it could be anyone. I think the Zone might get that fight with Haney, but I'm not sure, to be honest. But I prefer, I'm cool with any of the fights.
Yeah, I'm cool with any of the fights. If it's Lomachenko, it's Lomachenko. But I think really, I mean, it's Haney. It really should be Haney. Just clear the matter up. Clear the matter up.
We need to clear that up. Listen, he's had his time, Haney. Well, not Haney. Loma. He's had his time. Salido beat him in the second fight when he was given a pass to go professional. Then he got beat up by Gary Russell and he got a decision. And then he lost against Teofimo Lopez. So listen, let me just say what I got to say here. You can all have a great career when you come from somewhere where you don't know where the figures are coming from. 395-1. Listen, he said Jamaica, bro. Let's get your ass up to Jamaica, Loma. You're saying you're 396-1. You're the main man. You lost one fight in your amateur career. Listen to the Pigeon. You didn't, bro. You didn't.
I don't know what are you talking about. I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay, Pigeon.
Oh, I'm talking about his amateur career.
All right, Pigeon. All right. Okay, Pigeon. Okay. Let's just remain calm, Pigeon. Just finish off your drink, my friend. Finish up your drink. Enjoy your drink in there. And make sure you get up nice and early for work. And that was the Pigeon. It was nice to have the Pigeon on the cider tonight. That was great. Thanks for jumping on. Pigeon. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button.
Rafa, I actually want to ask you something. I was hearing that the Dylan Whyte and Tyson Fury fight might be at Wembley Stadium. Is that true? Have you heard anything?
I don't know. I think it's Principality. I think it's the Principality. They're looking at the Principality. I don't know. I don't know if I think Principality is smaller than Wembley.
Yeah, smaller.
I would think the Principality. I think they got a roof as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the smart choice. And smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. The Raphie's got work in the morning. So we don't do marathons. We don't do marathons over here. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for that. Okay. So what does it say? I would be very tempted to pick the triple duck over Eubank. Hey, if Eubank can listen, just listen a bit more. All he's got to do is do what he does and keep his hands up a little bit. Just put them hands up a little bit. But Eubank is so prideful, he thinks, no, I'm going to keep my hands down. You won't be able to hit me. Don't work like that. Put them hands up in the second half of the fight. If you want to have fun in the first half, fair enough. But then be what do you call it? Defensively responsible. Be defensively responsible.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think sometimes he's a little too confident in his chin, which is good, but on elite level, you can't keep leaving your chin out there.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's ridiculous. Big boys boxing up in the building. You might look good, but Williams getting dropped with jabs. Yeah, it was hooks, wasn't it? He was getting dropped with hooks. The left hook. He was using the left hook as a jab, yeah, for sure. Well, once Williams kind of sobered up, you know what I mean, and got his wits about him after his prideful start. You know, they say pride comes before the fall. After he started smartening up and started to actually box, and he was doing okay. He was doing okay, but it was too little, too late. He'd already got dropped too many times in too many rounds. Too little, too late. If Charlo Eubank ever gets made, I got 20 on Charlo. I got 20 on Eubank. Come on. You got to support the UK guy. Come on now.
Of course, bro. Yeah, I was actually looking forward to the fight. I'm not sure what happened though, because I think didn't Eubank sign a deal with after
Yeah.
he beat James? Didn't he sign the deal with I think PBC?
Yeah, he was with
And then-
BBC for a while, but the pandemic hit. Not that should have stopped the fight, but things got a bit squirrely. Remember, he won that fight against the guy whose arm popped out, and he wasn't looking good in that one round. He wasn't looking good in that one round, but hey, it was only one round.
He was good though, Roy. I think it was smart. Roy Jones was if anything, if not anything, Roy Jones a guy that's really experienced. Him and Eubank get on well, so I think it's still better than having no trainer. It's still better to have Roy Jones, and I think under Roy, the jab, the footwork, the ring IQ, and even setting up his power shots. Yeah, I think Eubank's got some really good years ahead. I really hope the Saunders rematch happens because in the UK, that's a massive fight.
Yeah, absolutement. Full flight. Malcolm Marcel up in the building. What's this here? There's talk that Ryan may get the fight with Kambosos. It's just talk. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy if Ryan Garcia got that fight. That would be madness. But then, hey, a soft touch. You win the fight, you get a soft touch. Would it be that crazy? I wouldn't want to see it. I wouldn't pay a penny to watch that fight. But hey.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. Not at all. But that's a dangerous fight for Kambosos, I think Ryan Garcia is a serious power puncher, and he could beat Kambosos, definitely. I think Kambosos is I think he's trying to cash out. He's up there in age. He's had a tough career. He just wants to make a lot of money and probably leave.
If you have a choice of basically losing your belt to Haney or Loma, I would take the Loma fight. Worth much more? We mean financially worth much more? I don't know. Financially, I don't know. A Loma fight worth much? Maybe. I don't know. WB, he's with Top Rank. Or fighting Haney on the zone. I don't know. I really don't know. That's an interesting point. It's going to get more. I'm going to have to chew on that one. Who does he get more fighting? Very interesting question.
Yeah, I think it'll depend. I think the zone probably have more money than, and they don't probably have deeper pockets. Yeah, than Bob Arum, but it depends. I think Lou DiBella, his promoter, is looking for like a TV deal. So I mean, it's complicated with promotions, Because then Lou DiBella wants more than a fight. He wants kind of like a little TV deal for his other fighters. So I don't know. But I think with Kambosos, he's just probably thinking about whoever puts up the most money.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at some of these comments here. Put down the bottle, pigeon. Put down the pigeon. Time, please. Yeah,
probably. When you're saying BT Tower, I was thinking he probably flew into a cuckoo's nest.
Just gently eased him out the door. Come on, pigeon. You shouldn't. You got to go home now. You got to fly on home, pigeon. But thanks for your contribution, pigeon. It's always interesting. OMG. Okay. This is funny. Shizniks. Kambosos is entertaining. He most certainly is. Okay. So let's move along. There's lots of other things. Okay, so what was the key point I was trying to make with this thing? Let me just have a quick look at this article. Is there any key points that oh yeah, I do want to touch on this a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Let me share my screen with you, but there are a couple of big topics that I want to get into before we shut this shiznix down. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter. Okay, link in the description box. Okay, so am I sharing? Okay, I'm sharing. Yeah. So, okay, over 1 million people tuned in to watch Christopher Eubank Jr.'s victory over Liam Williams in what was the first fight in a blockbuster month of. Oh my God, I almost forgot about the cold. Anyway, talk about that in a second. Blockbuster month of boxing on Sky. We all know Eubank Jr. knocked down Williams 4 times. Before going on to score a unanimous points win in their grudge middleweight contest. Oh, that was quick. Oh no, there's more. Okay. Is there any key points I want to get into? Not really, but that's that. And in comes a man like the Iron Kong. How you doing? Good to have you.
What's up, Raphie? I just come from a PTA meeting just now with me youth them and so. It's long, ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, some of them teachers kind of tick me, brethren. I'm not gonna lie, dog. Some of them teachers rather tick.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. You know the Raphie's club in Korea when he was like 20, 19. Hold on, I had my first car when I was 20. Yeah, 19, 20. Some of my brethren, they came from overseas and they were staying at a campus nearby where I lived. And there was a lot of teacher training, trainee teachers coming up, and they were thick even back then. And Raphie used to get invited down to the discos down at the campus, the little club discos. And let me tell you, I familiarized myself with some of those fine ladies in the teaching profession.
Man, may I tell you, man, look good, man. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
eat good. Plenty yam, plenty dashing.
Oh yes,
nice, man.
Yeah. Oh! You don't have to convince me, my friend. It's something that yes, I've been privileged to.
I see y'all talking about Chris Jones Jr.
Christopher Eubanks Jr.
No. Chris Jones.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell Eubank was. I see him doing against Mark Morrison. I was hoping maybe he would get out of that. Like, I'm hoping he will realize, look, bro, you are not Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. doesn't fight like anybody before him, and nobody after him can copy his style. His style is his style.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what is you doing? Like, he's in the dance doing this weird shuffle, running around the ring, holding his hands out like Roy, like holding his head to the side. I'm like, bro, you're not Roy Jones, bro. Just stop. Chris Eubank Jr. is somebody who is forever going to be next gen. He's going to be 45 next gen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of disappointing that a guy at that age is still trying to turn his hand at this sport. Like, he hasn't found who he is yet. Mm-hmm. And he, Eubank to me has wasted so much time in his career. Wasted so much time. He was in England. He wasn't doing much. Went to America, wasted 3 years with the PBC. And it's just like, now he's back in England and he's on a big fight night with Liam Williams. And it's like, man, it was a decent win. Sorry, go ahead.
I think, to be fair, if you look at the other middleweight champions like Golovkin, Charlo, Andrade, they're not really doing anything better. What are they doing?
Hold on. Well, let me reply to that. So you have somebody in Demetrius Andrade who has tried to fight all the other champions, and for some reason, people don't want to fight him. People are gonna bring up reasons from 6 years ago and all this nonsense. Chris Eubank Jr. is somebody who had a chance to fight Andrade. I want you to go back before and after the Marcus Morrison fight and listen to Eubank and Callum Sowland. When they had first signed Eubank, before the Morrison fight, Callum Sowland was talking about, yeah, man, we're going to fight Marcus Morrison, and, we want Triple G, or, maybe somebody like Kell Brook. They're calling out Kell Brook. Eubank left PBC, wasted his time, came to Sowland, and then looked back and be like, yeah, man, I want to fight Charlo. Like, you was at PBC for 3 years. You didn't fight Charlo. You had a chance to fight Golovkin whenever that was, and then Kell Brook lost an eye socket for you, defending Britain's honor. You had a chance to fight Andrade. Y'all didn't even mention Andrade, and that fight was in reach. You could have just told Sowland, look, I want a straight shot at Demetrius Andrade for a world title belt. He didn't want to do that. Instead, he's calling out Kell Brook. No, just because Conor Ben made some comment about he fancies chances at catchweight, Sowland actually is like, yeah, Conor Ben. I'm like, what? And they're still calling out Kell Brook.
Who's calling out Kell Brook? Who's calling out Kell Brook?
Sowland and them are still talking about Kell Brook.
Kell Brook.
I think under the Sky Sport. Yeah, I was saying under the Sky Sports umbrella. I mean, in the UK, say if Kell Brook beats Amir Khan, which he might do. Kell Brook is a big, 154 guy. He fought Golovkin. I think on TV I get where you're coming from. Eubank personally in interviews, when he's asked about Kell Brook, he said he's not really that interested. Look, if fans want the fight, he's cool with it. But he's always said that, look, I want to fight a champion next.
Yeah. Forget about Kell Brook, though. Forget about Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Forget about Kell Brook.
What fan is going to call for Chris Jones Jr. to fight Kell Brook?
No. Forget about Kell Brook. Nobody's interested in that. Billy Joe Saunders has been flapping his gums. Billy Joe Saunders has come out of hiding. Billy Joe Saunders is flapping his gums again. He say he wants some. Billy Joe Saunders wants some. Iron Kong, what's your feelings? Talk to me.
First off, I don't like Billy Joe Saunders. And you know that. Yeah. I honestly don't like it, but I'm going to be honest with you.
Not many people do.
I'm going to be honest with you. Chris Eubank Jr. does not beat Billy Joe Saunders.
Uh-oh.
If the difference is, if Billy Joe is forced to actually put effort into going to 160, I'm not sure Billy Joe, even though he's not a 168, he's a fat 168 pounder. I don't think Billy Joe Saunders has the discipline to make 160. And that's the difference. But Eubank.
But he can take the nasal spray. He can take the nasal spray for fights in the UK.
There you go. So therefore, it shouldn't be. That's a good fight. That's a decent fight, I guess. But it's been. I mean, they would have to put that fight on pay-per-view because Billy Joe now thinks he is Canelo.
Yeah.
Because now he wants $7 million and $6 million a fight. So, are you going to pay Billy Joe Saunders $6 million to fight Chris Jones Jr.?
You should take 4, maybe 3.
Yeah. I think you get 3 million pounds.
Yeah.
You think Eubank is going? So if you pay Billy Joe £3 million, what's Eubank gonna want?
I think in the UK, look, I'll be honest, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe, if they build that up right, promote it, they could probably put that in like a small soccer stadium in the UK and do big numbers on pay-per-view. That is a massive fight here in the UK. I mean, he just broke Sky Sports records. He did bigger numbers than Anthony Joshua and Amir Khan on regular Sky Sports. So, and he sold out the arena. I think him versus Billy Joe in the UK is like
that's not like for like though. That's not like for like because that's like on Sky versus versus PPV.
Yeah. But still, I mean, Amir Khan and Anthony Joshua are superstars. So it's still, I think, a good look for Eubank. That and I think Sky would be willing to put up some money for the Saunders fight. I disagree with Ian because he was saying that he could never beat Saunders. Eubank was a prospect. without a trainer, and that was a split decision on a Frank Warren show. Since that fight, Eubank has improved a lot, and I think Saunders has actually declined. So I think when they do fight, I think Eubank will beat Saunders.
Listen, I'd like to watch that fight because it's a needle fight. They fought before. It's a rematch. Chris Eubank was somewhat inexperienced and he didn't get going in that fight early enough. He came back strong, but I think that would be an entertaining fight. I think that would be an entertaining fight.
It's a good point by Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the gentleman's name, Jimmy?
Yeah,
so,
Jimmy.
Right. So he has a good point, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Billy Joe getting a good hiding. Even though I don't have any Sky Sports down here on the island, I'll use unscrupulous ways to watch the fight. So yeah, I'll watch it. If Billy Joe's getting a good hiding, I wouldn't mind watching that. That's a good Saturday night, experience for me.
That's a hell of a fight. I don't know who'd win, by the way. I don't rule out Billy Joe Saunders winning that fight, by the way.
However, I would say I think Billy Joe would have to take that fight right now because I think that relationship between him and Eddie Hearn is fractured forever. I don't think they had much of a relationship to begin with. I think it was just out of convenience for a Canelo fight because Eddie wanted to work with Canelo and it was out of convenience. And I don't think they much like each other. And Billy Joe don't have much options left.
No.
He don't have no options left. So if he's gonna come back to boxing, this is the fight.
This is his last hurrah. Not to say it's not gonna be his last, but this is his last big fight. I want to see it. Phil reckons if he can box, he can beat Eubank. But Liam Williams can box. Liam Williams can box. He's got a good pedigree, and he got beat.
James DeGale can box.
James DeGale can box. But he got his ass whooped and he got slammed down WWE style.
James DeGale was a shell of James DeGale.
Yeah.
He was finished after that battle Jack fight. That was it.
Yeah.
No, I think he got revenge over Truax, and then he also got a knockout win. So I'm not saying it was the prime version of James DeGale.
Yeah.
But he came in great shape, and he was coming off a couple of wins, good wins as well. He beat Truax in the rematch. He was top 5 in the world, a 2-time champion, gold medalist, and a lot of people were picking James DeGale to win. A lot of people in the UK.
That's true.
So I thought it was a good win at the time.
It's a good win, but that was no prime James DeGale. But then you make a good point. He did have a couple of wins, but Eubank handled him. He really did handle him and handled him and slammed him. Billy Joe Saunders, it's his last big hurrah. What does this say? Yeah, Big Boys Boxing Riot. Saunders versus Eubank 2 is a multi-million-dollar PPV event. We know the mouthpiece is on him, which will hype it big again. 100%. That would be I don't know if you realize, Kong, that would be a massive fight. Massive fight. Just for the fireworks, the mouth, that would be massive over here. Massive.
No, I have no doubt. In England, that's a big fight because of the name. They fought before. They're gonna talk a lot of you know what, and they're gonna really sell the fight. They won't need the boxer promoter who really doesn't talk too much. They'll just talk, and hopefully they can keep Adam Smith talking to a minimum. I don't like hearing that guy talk. So, for me, watching like IFL interviews, when I have to stomach it, I would love to see these two guys be talking, ish about each other. That's a big fight in the UK. And as I said, Billy Joe Saunders don't have no more options. This is the fight, and that's that.
People were starved of boxing for a month. It's not like the fight was PPV, but that's the whole thing, Malcolm. This shows you this million people watching this in home. That's not including the people in pubs and bars and what have you. That shows what can happen when you don't put a fight on when you don't put every fight on PPV. When you put a fight like this, what is this? This is a needle fight, a fight with some people talking when you put this on TV, minus the PPV, this shows you what can happen. So a lot of these cats out there going on PPV and only selling what 50,000, 100,000, on PPV, when they could have had 10 times the viewership to build themselves, let the people see what they can do. Sometimes you gotta take small bucks to get big bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Box fighters these days, and far be it from me to tell a fighter what they should ask for because you're risking your life. However, there is a point to which it becomes uneconomical to ask for certain monies. And you see, like I remember Eddie Hearn saying one time, and he was talking about it because he was being challenged, like, why are you doing so much pay-per-view? He's like, that's the contract. He has to do a certain amount of pay-per-views. Sky only has a certain budget, and the fighters want a certain purse, and that then drives you to ask the audience to assist you to pay these fighters. A lot of them fights shouldn't be no pay-per-view. Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora 1 wasn't no goddamn pay-per-view. But for what they wanted, you had to do that. So my question to you, Jimmy and Raphie, I mean, do fighters need to be more understanding with their purse, or do promoters have something to blame with that too, because they might start overpaying fighters or whatever? Who's really to blame here?
I think it's a combo deal. The promoter's saying, oh, you want that? Okay, we'll put you on PPV, no problem. And then they know that the PPV is probably going to flop, but they don't have any real responsibility because the money's coming from the PPV. But the problem with that is that it limits the market. It shrinks the boxing market. This overuse, over-reliance on PPV reduces the boxing market. Chris Eubank and Liam Williams here, their numbers, it shows you that. It proves that. Well, it indicates that. Heavily indicates that. Let people see the fight minus the PPV model, and they're going to enjoy themselves and maybe catch them on the PPV next time or the time after that. But the fighters have to be confident enough in their style, confident enough in the belief that their style is entertaining, and if the masses allow the masses to see your style. If your style is good and you're confident about it, that it's crowd pleasing, then allow the masses to see you. Build yourself that way, and then when the market dictates that you can do it, go ahead and do some PPVs. But impress people first. Jimmy.
Yeah, I think, mate, to be honest, it's all about, what makes, I guess, sense economically. If you're selling, 5,000 tickets and doing 50,000 pay-per-views, for fighters like that to turn around and ask for $5 million or 5 million or £3 million, that is a little crazy though, because the money's not there. I think the UFC, that's why it's been booming so much.
Yeah.
Because if you got two journeymen in the UFC, like Masvidal and Nate Diaz, when they came together, they did nearly 1 million buys. I think boxing, it's not being promoted right. Because a lot of these fighters are asking for more money than what they're worth, because some of these fighters, they can't sell tickets and they don't do horrible numbers, but they're demanding $5 million for tune-ups, which is crazy.
Yeah. Williams has never been all that a competitor for sure, but he's not. But let's not forget, Groves embarrassed Eubank. Did Groves embarrass Eubank? Did he really? I saw that fight. I saw Eubank lose, but then Eubank lost because of his problem. We call it hard ears, hard of hearing. He just won't listen. The same with the first Billy Joe fight. He just wouldn't follow instruction. But now, that was years ago, by the way. But now we see that he appears to be following some kind of instruction. He appears to be a bit more receptive to instruction. I just wanted to get his hands up sometime. Okay, if you want to keep your hands low for the first 6, fine. But then get them up after the second 6 for the second half. Get your hands up. And I'm not even talking about tight earmuffs either. I'm just talking about get your hands in the way, deflect some of them shots and get off some of your shots. But just just get your hands up roundabout. Okay, say if a shot gets through, it gets through. But at least you had your hand up, you'll deflect another one. You can stop about 50% of the shots you're taking in the second half of the fight if you just put your hands up. You know what I mean? Take some on the forearm, take some on the arm, and you can fire back. But just look at it from a percentage point of view. If you stop 50% of the shots in the second half of the fight that you otherwise would have took because your hands were down, then, hey, that's points make prizes. You're going to win some of the rounds that you might have lost, or you'll win a round more convincingly than you might have otherwise. It's a percentage game. Keep them damn hands up.
I think Sky Sports did a good job as well with Eubank. They did the gloves are off special. You know, they hyped up, the media press conferences, the weigh-in. They did like a bit of a mini documentary series where they were following the fighters. I thought they did it. And this is positive. You know, they got these record-breaking numbers on Sky TV. And I think that'll give them hope to keep investing in boxing, you know, because again, even though it was a normal sort of subscription television satellite and not pay-per-view, he still beat Anthony Joshua and Amir Khan's numbers. And those are two of the biggest stars of the last 10 years in British boxing. So I thought it was
he
good.
didn't beat their numbers with PPVs, you know, so it's not like for like. Well, I hear what you're saying. He did good numbers, and I think it's very good for boxing. It's an indicator from boxing. Other boxers can learn from this.
They can learn. But what Chris Eubank, again, Billy Joe Saunders is going to want $3 to $4 million. Chris Eubank fancies himself the A-side. Chris Eubank fancies himself the equal of Billy Joe, if not the A-side. Yeah. You're going to be forced to put it on pay-per-view and hope it does well. The problem is the numbers that he recorded there was on free TV.
That wasn't free. That was not free TV. Sky Sports in the UK it's like a subscription channel, so you have to pay for it. It's premium sat.
Okay, fine. Okay, whatever it was, that's fine. What I'm saying to you is, are they going to continue giving this kind of content and not doing the pay-per-view model that they just got out from with the Matchroom experience? Because the truth is, with Matchroom, they had a few people who they put on pay-per-view. They had a Dillian Whyte, they had a Joshua, a few people. I don't know anybody over there now that you can do that with. And I'm a big I have the Zone, and that's how I used to consume my Sky Sports stuff, through the Zone, right? Yeah. Right, and it's cool for me because for me it's only like $1.99 American a month. That's like $5 something EC for me a month. So I'm fine. I'll watch and they give me decent boxing content. I like it. But before, I used to be able to consume more PBC fights because they were on free TV.
Right.
What I'm saying here is pay-per-view must only be for a fight where you have to pay over and above to bring a certain fighter to a platform.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. It has to be, for instance, if the Zone had gotten the Tyson Fury fight with Dillian Whyte, I would have no issue to say, look here, we had to really overpay for Tyson. We need assistance paying for this. Because you want to get certain people to your platform, but not like telling me I have to pay pay-per-view for Chisora versus Parker. No, that's a $5 a month subscription fight. These two people should not be asking for no big money.
The fight doctor says the PPV model is ultimately good for boxing, in my opinion.
Good for who? Maybe Anthony Joshua. Outside of Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, and maybe a couple of other guys like a Khan or a Eubank for the right fights. I don't think there are any pay-per-view fighters. With Manny Pacquiao gone, Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez are the only two fighters that can carry big numbers by themselves. I don't think Tyson Fury is a big pay-per-view fighter because I'll be honest, he's never been a massive star in the UK.
Say that last bit again.
I said Tyson Fury. I don't even think he's a big pay-per-view fighter.
No,
because
he's not. We talked about this multiple times. The figures that he's been allegedly getting paid now. Eddie Hearn has said no, that's inflated. That's not what he's getting. And we brought the news of that over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We talked about it as soon as the news came out. He's getting what? Record what? No, he's not. No, he's not. They just inflated the figure to win the purse bid. They say, hey, we're going to say we're paying you this, but we're not. But we have to say that to inflate the figure, so we can get the purse bid. So Tyson Fury is going to be interesting because his figures have never been released by BT. BT have never released Tyson Fury figures, so it's like a mystery. It could be embarrassing. It could be embarrassing.
No, it is embarrassing because do you remember when he was a rematch Klitschko in the UK in the Manchester Arena before he pulled out of the Klitschko fight?
Yeah.
The arena wasn't sold out. Joshua signs to fight Klitschko. They sell out Wembley Stadium within 24 hours. So
Is that why he didn't fight Klitschko? Is that why he didn't fight Klitschko?
That could be. Well, the main reason he didn't fight Klitschko is I think Klitschko was going to kick his ass second time around. But that could have been an ancillary type of reason.
No, that's
because Klitschko didn't pull out. No, because Klitschko didn't pull out, and he was making a lot more money than Fury throughout his career. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say there were a lot of reasons. A lot of people think he ducked Klitschko because Klitschko was going to come up as a more dangerous version. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko, a year later, Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
Sold 90,000 tickets. When Fury signed to fight Klitschko, they couldn't sell 20,000 tickets. So.
Embarrassing. Yep. Iron Kong, embarrassing.
Yeah, but what I will say, they think they've done a great job with Fury, but you've heard, the miser himself, Bob Arum say that he hasn't really made any money on Tyson Fury. And that's in America where you have $1,000 seats, where people pay $80 for a pay-per-view and they can't make money in America. Yeah, I guess they're banking that Tyson Fury's recent success with Wilder will excite the British fans, and maybe because the whole story of mental illness, plus they're really banking on maybe Tyson Fury can slag AJ some more because you love calling AJ's name when you want to sell a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Dylan Whyte as well. I think Dylan Whyte in the UK is a big star in the UK. Yeah. This guy would fight in the O2 Arena, sell it out, do good pay-per-view numbers when he fought Chisora, Joshua, Parker. Right. I think Whyte will actually help him sell pay-per-views. I think Dylan Whyte versus Tyson Fury in the UK will probably do over 1 million buys, but I think that's because he's getting the help of Dylan Whyte, not just by himself.
Well, Dylan Whyte, Dylan Whyte might be a bigger pay-per-view star in the UK than Tyson Fury.
No, but that's proven by numbers. He actually did pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
No, so I'm just saying, like, the pay-per-view model, it can be very sobering for some fighters. The fighters seem to be averse to being told the truth. A pay-per-view, fighters can crash a pay-per-view, absolutely flop. And they will still tell you, I'm a pay-per-view star. I want to do it again.
Yeah.
And it's like, pay-per-view tells you your worth if people are willing to pay to see you. And a lot of these dudes flop pay-per-views and they don't seem to get the hint.
Yeah. They don't want to get the hint. They don't want to take it in. They're still getting a couple of shillings. Well, they're still making whatever they're making. And that's how they roll. They don't see the bigger picture. Well, from our point of view anyway, everybody's got a different point of view. Everybody's standing in a different spot. Everybody sees things differently.
Question though to y'all, I haven't kept up much, but is something wrong with Joe Joyce? He's not fighting. What's up with him? He all right?
No, Joe Joyce, he's recovering from an injury. He says he wants Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's people said they're listening.
They're listening.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're gonna see. I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight for a while.
But I
love Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is one of my favorite fighters. I love watching him fight. That was a massive win with Daniel Dubois.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have a question. After that record purse bid by Frank Warren and Queensberry, can they afford Joseph Parker versus Joe Joyce?
Oh well, those figures are fictitious figures, Con.
That man said he paid $41 million for a fight. That's what he said.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, firstly, it was a co-promotion. It's on paper, it's on facts, it's on wax. It's a co-promotion. But a lot of people don't realize that it's a co-promotion, not a Queensbury promotion. It's Queensbury and Top Rank, but I put it to you that it's actually Top Rank and Queensbury. You know what I'm saying? Queensbury paying. He's the front man. Frank Warren for this one. He's the front man. He's the man up front. Bob Arum said, "All right, Frank, we're gonna do it in England. You front this one. You front this one, Frank. I got total confidence in you. We're gonna front the money, and you front the show. It's gonna be in the UK. We can't make money on that in the US of A. But we still gonna have a PPV. It's still gonna be pay-per-view over here. So yeah, that's Top Rank. It's Top Rank. Don't watch Frank. Don't watch Frank. He's just a front man. He's just a front man.
Remember what happened with Canelo? When Canelo got that 40 million from PBC, it pretty much tanked PBC's remaining schedule.
Yeah.
So
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I would love to see the Parker versus Joyce fight. I would love to see that fight, to be honest.
That's a good fight.
Parker wants big money. Hey, gents, I got to roll, man. Hey, thank y'all for having me. Peace, Jimmy. Peace, Raphie.
Hey,
peace out, brother.
Much appreciation. That was the Iron Kong, our man in the Caribbean. And I think his channel name is Iron Kong 26. Okay, so as we move, have you heard the word? Hold on, let me pull up the article. Let me pull up the article real smooth like, and that's just a matter of fact. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Let me get rid of a window, and let's pull this up. Let's pull this up and show the people. Show and prove. Show and prove. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. Oh, okay. So hopefully, yeah, you can see that. We can see that. The people can see that. And hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Notifications. Pardon me. Plural. Okay. So as you can see, Philip Hrgovic, heavyweight title eliminator, to be ordered by the what? I read that wrong. Philip Hrgovic, Zili Zhang, heavyweight title eliminator, to be ordered by the IBF. Finally, let's listen. Could this be it? Finally, Philip Hrgovic has a heavyweight title rival with whom to negotiate for his next fight. Okay, so Rafael Dawkins Combat Radio has learned that Zili Zhang has accepted an invitation to enter into talks for a final eliminator with Croatia's Filip Hrgovic. The move allows the IBF to formally order the fight, after which point the two sides will have 15 days to work out terms to avoid a purse bid hearing. Okay, so the development potentially puts to rest a process that has seen nine other heavyweights turn down the offer for a variety of reasons. Several contenders ranked above Zhang are coming off alleged injuries, while others have scheduling conflicts, including Australia's Dempsey McKean, who was one spot above Zhang in the IBF heavyweight ranked ratings. Okay, so what else? Well, we don't even have to go into the minutia. But how do you greet this news? Zili Zhang is in talks. So it looks like Philip Hrgovic's search might finally be over. Jimmy.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Finally he's got a good eliminator to be in, because a lot of people have been ducking Philip Hrgovic for whatever reason. I know Luis Ortiz turned down the fight. Tony Yoka was going to take the fight, but then he was having, I think, some kind of legal issues with was it Martin Bacoli?
That's right.
So,
yeah.
I think it's good for Philip. He's going to be in there. I really want to see the all Croatian clash though between Alen Babic and Philip Hrgovic. I put that in Croatia in a big stadium. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
That would have been fun.
I think there's a lot of dangerous mandatories for the winner of Joshua Usyk.
Yeah.
You've got Joe Joyce. You got
Yeah.
Philip Hergovich. You got Daniel Dubois. You know, you got Dylan White, or Tyson Fury winner in the unification.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a dangerous path for whoever wins the rematch.
The
Which,
heavyweight division right now is cooking. It's cooking. There's top contenders. There's dangerous contenders. East, west, north, and south.
yeah, bro, the jungle's full of lions.
Yeah, it's a jungle. The jungle's full of lions out there. Lions and tigers. You know, the tiger kicks the lion's ass.
Yeah.
Bigger and they're more violent. A lot of people don't know that, but anyway, Fury will get numbers in the UK nowadays. Well, Michael Armitage, how do you do? Hypothetically, that's the case. That may be the case. But maybe finally BT will release some Tyson Fury figures. Well, it's not really Tyson Fury figures, though. It's Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte figures. Dillian Whyte, a proven pay-per-view attraction over here in the UK. Tyson Fury, less so.
Yeah,
But let's
definitely.
see if his stock has grown to the point where it's become respectable. Let's see.
Yeah, I think probably the knockout win over Wilder, maybe working in WWE, and then if he comes here back to the UK, goes back and forth with Dylan White, keeps using Anthony Joshua's name. I think he could probably do bigger numbers. It's crazy though because everyone was telling me that the last Wilder fight apparently flopped. They were saying they didn't make any money off the fight. Like, it was doing really bad.
It was a relative flop. They made a little bit of money on the first fight. They made a lot of money on the second fight, and they made significantly less on the third fight. Significantly less. So we're gonna see. Hey, I mean, if he's a big pay-per-view star, good for him. I don't think nobody's against that. But
I really want Dylan White to. Hopefully, his arbitration works because the WBC they're doing some BS though. As an interim champion, like you should not be getting 20%. That's crazy, bro. Like he's getting the percentage that the average, some random journeyman would get. Like Dylan White he's not only the mandatory, he's the interim champion, and then interim champion is allowed as low as 30%. The fact that that's criminal though, what the WBC are doing to him.
It's criminal. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. But that's the WBC. That's the WBC because AJ gets media. Why does he get it though? It's not just by chance. It's not just by chance. There's a reason for that. You know what I mean? It's not that they just decided to bestow him with a lot of attention. They give him attention because they get attention when they write about him. You know what I mean? He sells.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's PPV. That's the whole thing that we're just talking about. He sells. That's why it's PPV, or it's PPV because he sells. You know what I mean? That wild bull meat.
Yeah.
Fury, look at what happens, and also he fights the top guys. He fights the top guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Fury said that he got beat. Said Joshua got beat by a middleweight, but then he turns around and says that he needs a tune-up for the middleweight. Talking out the side of his,
I mean, the last time he fought a cruiserweight, it was Steve Cunningham, and he looked really bad in that fight. And that's a Steve Cunningham. Let's be honest, is nowhere near the level of a Usyk. So
exactly. If Whyte gets a much bigger percentage at the conclusion of arbitration, Queensbury may go down like the Titanic. Fish eyes can't afford that big bag. The real bag. You can't afford the real bag. Well, you're going to have to take some out of Tyson's. You're going to have to take some out of Tyson's bag. And I think they must know. They must have made provisions for that. Tyson Fury must know. He must have in his contract, you could get such and such. But that goes down if Dillian Whyte gets such and such percentage-wise, pro rata, however you want to say it, however you want to term it. So Zilly Zhang looks like he might be the man to step forward. At last, Philip Hergovic may have an opponent. Let's have a look. Rubbish. Fury's miles better than AJ. Well, why won't he fight him? Why is he only fought 2 Ring Magazine top 10 guys in 6 years? when AJ's fought 6 or 7. You see what I'm saying? Hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson Fury in the last 7 years since Klitschko, he's only ever fought one top 5 heavyweight, and that was Deontay Wilder over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's a guy that a lot of people think is a hype job. So
Yeah.
I mean,
In terms of his
even
boxing.
Dylan White, I'd say Dylan White over the last several years has fought much better opposition
Yes.
as far as ranking. He fought Joseph Parker, Oscar Rivas, undefeated Lucas Brown, Derek Chisora. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We're talking about smoke and mirrors. Talking about smoke and mirrors. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Okay, so let Raphie get slick with it. Let Raphie get slick with it. Talking about smoke and mirrors. You know, smoke and mirrors. Where is it? Smoke and mirrors right there. Smoke and mirrors right there. That was a couple of episodes ago. What was that? Boxing Talk with Raphie 345. This is Boxing Talk with Raphie 347. So a couple of episodes ago. If you haven't checked it out, folks, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard it, then go right ahead. No, not now, but not now. What else did the Raphie want to bring up? Jimmy's dropped off. I don't know if it's a signal. Let him down. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what's in the file. What else? What else did I want to say? What else did I want to say? Okay, I'm going to keep that one up my sleeve. Keep that one up my sleeve. I'll release that maybe tomorrow. Where are we now? Let's bring that down. That's not what we're dealing with right about now. OMG, it's 1 hour and 42 minutes. It's 1 hour and 42 minutes. Our first blood fight should be a no contest. You know the Raphie says that regular. Matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat. I never heard anybody say that before the Raphie. Raphie been saying that for years. You know that. For years. What else we got? Rubbish. Fury's miles better than AJ. Why don't we fight him then? Why won't he fight him then? I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But why won't he fight him then? Why is he so reluctant to fight the top guys if he's so good? He's carrying a lot of timber. One of the days the timber's going to catch up with him. Perhaps. Hypothetically. It's a question. Exactly. Why is he obsessed with AJ? He's fighting Whyte. What's going on? Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, Matthew. Based on what? Based on what? Or needs to try and get his money back from Triple D as well. $5 million investment that has not paid off thus far. Interesting. Was it a $5 million investment? Okay, I didn't know that. His wins against top fighters in their own backyards. In their own backyards. And OMG, in comes the man I call him Big Texas. It's Phil Walker. Phil Walker, how you doing? Talk to me. Phil Walker up in the building. Maybe he's talking to somebody else. He's currently on mute. Currently on mute. Okay, Phil, when you're ready, come on in. Yeah. What's this here? What's this here? Wins against top fighters? You mean two fighters? Two fighters. You're talking about Vladimir Klitschko over in Germany, and you're talking about Deontay Wilder over there in the US of A. That's who you're talking about. But that's only two wins. That's only 2 Ring Magazine top 10 wins in the last 6 years. OMG.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's the Phil Walker up in the building. How you doing, Phil?
How you doing, man? I was checking for your show, man, yesterday. So
yeah, because I normally do it on Monday, but sometimes I mix it up, confuse the people, keep the people guessing. Sometimes you go Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So here we are, Phil. Talk to me.
Man, I tell you what, man, I'm actually excited that about the Fury and the Dillian Whyte. Honestly, man, I think Dillian Whyte has had a tough road. Just really getting a title shot, considering that the division had been tied up between, at that time would be the big three, would be Fury, Wilder, and AJ.
It wasn't even Fury. Fury wasn't even in it, because you remember Whyte was like ranked number 1 or number 2, and then Fury came like a bat out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden he was the WBC ranked him in at 7 after it was announced that Deontay Wilder, your boy over there in Alabama, the Bronze Bomber, and Fury had come to agree a deal. When in the meantime, he should have been fighting Dillian Whyte. So Fury wasn't even in it.
Well, what I'm saying is this right here. Whether Fury came in last minute, whatever the situation may be, at the end of the day, still in all, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have been tied up fighting each other for years at this point, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. They tied themselves
together,
and they did good business together.
So, at the end of the day, I think the division still was tied up between those 3 guys, right? And Dillian Whyte, honestly, man, he kind of he's waited his time. He was quiet long enough, and when he started making noise, obviously people started listening, because he's always worked his way back into the fold the old-fashioned way, and you got to respect that. So I'm happy that he's getting his shot against Tyson Fury, although I do think Fury's probably going to beat him. But at the end of the day, this is why they make fights, and who knows? We all know that Dillian Whyte does have a real nice left hook. I mean, anything could happen. Obviously, Fury's no virgin to being put down on the canvas, right? So at the end of the day, I'm excited about the fight. I'm excited for Dillian. And I'm just excited to finally see Tyson Fury fight somebody within the top 10 outside of Deontay Wilder within the last almost 8 years or so. So
yeah. What this big boy boxer says, but it's Queensbury on the hook. It's solely a Queensbury bid. No, it's a co-promotion. It's a co-promotion between Queensbury. Did I just write something? Oh, I didn't press the. Yeah, there it is. A co-promotion between Queensbury and Top Rank. It's officially a co-promotion on paper. So yeah, it's definitely a co-promotion. Yeah, Dillian Whyte's getting his bid, getting his shot at long last. Fury, I agree, is the favorite, but I say I'll be putting money on the underdog, Dillian Whyte, actually stopping Tyson Fury. Not just going on points, stopping it, because I think that Dillian has to stop. Does he have to stop Fury? I don't know if he has to stop him, but I think that's the way it's going to go. If it's points, I think it's Fury. If it's stoppage or there's multiple knockdowns, then I think it's Dillian Whyte, and I think Dillian Whyte can stop Fury. He's going to go.
No, I agree that honestly, the only way personally I see Dillian Whyte beating Fury is to either put him on the canvas several times or stop him. That's just my opinion. I mean, in no world or no earth do I see Dillian Whyte just sitting there and boxing Fury for 12 rounds and somehow becoming victorious without any knockdowns or anything like that. That's just not his style. We all know that's not his style. Dylan wants to get in there, bang you to the body, and basically outman you. So he's going to have to stop Fury if he wants to win. And I think he knows that.
Yeah. I do think he knows that. Some lovely mandatories coming up. What's that going on? Have you heard that Filip Hrgovic and Zhilei Zhang are in talks? Looks like Zhilei Zhang's going to step up where everybody else stepped to the side.
Well, at the end of the day, somebody's got to fight this guy, right? So, hey, if you're a guy and you think you may stand a chance, right now is the perfect opportunity to slide in. You got to think about it. These guys are heavyweights, so majority of these guys have a puncher's chance, right? So, why not slide in while everybody's kind of stepping to the side or being lackadaisic about making a fight with Hrgovic? I think he's a talented kid. I think he's going to have to take several fights like this until he gets his shot because, again, people are not excited about getting in the ring with him. And, like I said, man, if you're an up-and-coming guy without a big name and you want to get in the ring with this guy, get you some good exposure, now's the time to do it.
For real. Tony Yoka was going to take it. But he had some kind of pre-existing agreement with Bacoli, the heavyweight, not Okoli, Bacoli. So he was forced to pull out. He couldn't take it. Threats of legal action deterred him.
And I actually thought that was a very good fight for both of those guys right now at the point in time in their careers. I think those guys were excited about getting in the ring with one another as well. I mean, that was a good fight for boxing fans to see two guys basically prove themselves while they continue to move up in the ranks and hopefully get a shot. They'll get a mandatory shot. Obviously, Hrgovic is with the IBF, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, IBF. Joe Joyce is talking. They're interested in Joseph Parker. Joe Joyce, that's the WBO final eliminator. Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker. What do you think about that?
Man, I think that's a great fight for boxing. Honestly, Joyce, man, I'll be real with you. When you look at Joyce, it's kind of one of those things where you look at a guy and you see a guy in the ring and you study him and you say, I can beat this kid, right? And then when you get in there with Joyce, it's always a different story with this guy, right? He's got a very, very high motor. He definitely can take a shot. I think he's actually getting better. He's throwing his jab a lot more crisp and precise. He used to kind of let it kind of hang out there a little bit earlier in his career. But as far as Parker, we know what Parker brings to the table, right? If you can hurt Parker, I think he's more hesitant to run in there and really fight you. If you're a boxer and Parker doesn't see you hurting him, he'll get in there and he'll handle his business. I do know that for sure. But this will be a good fight, and I think it'll be a chess match. The only thing I know for sure is that Joe Joyce is going to come out and he's going to throw a whole lot of punches, okay? And the only thing I don't know is I don't know what kind of game plan Parker's going to implement against Joyce. But at the end of the day, it's an exciting fight for boxing.
It is an exciting fight for boxing. It is an exciting fight for boxing. I totally agree. I'm saying around 4, Zhilei Zhang gets sparked. We're gonna have to do some predictions on that. Time running out for Joyce. WBC updated their rules after Whyte became their interim, and they're always going to screw him over. OMG. OMG. Okay. And you know what? Raphie's got work, got to get up early in the morning. We've gone way over time. But Phil Walker, it's been good of you to jump on.
Definitely, man. Let me say this before I go.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I think personally, this is just my personal opinion. I think the worst thing Dillian Whyte could have did was take the WBC route. If he would have went WBO, IBF, I think we would already have seen Dillian Whyte in a title bout, probably more than one at this point, right? I think he got distracted, and his eyes were so focused on going in and beating Deontay Wilder because he has a very large distaste for him. Obviously, we can see this. And I think he got caught up in the mix when he should have just put himself in a position to go with whatever sanctioning body would have represented him the best. But nevertheless, he's finally getting his shot. And we're going to see if he's going to take advantage of it, man. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Parker and Joyce. I'm excited that Herkovich finally has an opponent. And hopefully, we can start getting hopefully we can start making some dates for these fights. Earl Spence and Ugas just dropped their date. It's going to be April 17th. I'm excited about that one. That's going to be in the Big Texas. We're going to see what Earl Spence is made of.
Who you got?
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. I'll be honest with you. I think Ugas has gotten a lot better. Honestly, I think he's kind of one of those guys that he just may bloom and blossom on the back end of his career. Yeah. He may be a late bloomer, kind of like I think Lennox Lewis was a late bloomer, and I have him in my top 10 best heavyweights of all time. I think Ugas just may be a late bloomer. And I think if Earl Spence Jr. doesn't come out with his A game, I think Ugas actually has a chance of beating him, especially considering all the things that Spence have been through within the last several years. So at the end of the day, this is a really good fight, honestly, in my opinion. If I can't get the Spence and Crawford, obviously that's the one I want. But in the meantime, I do think Ugas and Spence is good for boxing. It's a unification bout. And whoever comes out of this, man, is going to put themselves in an excellent position in the welterweight division. And hopefully after that, we can get undisputed. If not, I mean, that's just disappointing to us fans.
100%. Phil Walker, much appreciation for you jumping on anytime. You're always welcome over here at the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio.
All right, man. Y'all take care, man. Appreciate you having me, man. I'll be keep on the lookout, man. I don't always jump in, but whenever I'm off from work on Mondays and Wednesdays, I try to listen in to you guys, man. So shout out to everybody who was on the panel, and shout out to everybody who was in the chat as well, man. Y'all have a blessed one.
100%. That was the Phil Walker. Let me stop sharing. The Raphie got work in the morning. Got to be up bright and early. Yes. But hey, thanks for everybody who jumped on the panel. The pigeon flew into the BT tower. All we saw was a puff of feathers. Hope he's okay. I think he fell into a pint of cider. So you definitely know he got his beak wet. And then in came the Jimmy. Laughing there. Oh my gosh, what is this damn fly? I hate damn little fly, little pesky thing up in the Dawkins Towers. Not appreciated whatsoever. Okay, so thanks to the Jimmy, and then came the Iron Kong. Much appreciation to the Iron Kong, our man in the Caribbean. And then came Phil Walker. Call him Big Texas over here. live from Texas. Okay, Yoka Bacoli is being confirmed for May the 14th. So we're looking forward to that one. Yoka Bacoli confirmed. May the 14th. Got a few months to wait for that one. I'll be getting in shape. Okay. So, a lot of comments. Thanks to everybody who took time out to jump in and jump on in the chat, on the panel. And we'll do it again later on in the week. Hit that like button. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.